Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Clean Slate Video Club. We're a club that meets once a week to talk about movies. I feel like we haven't done this in a long time, but we just did it last week. We've been living life, living large.
To the fullest.
Daniel's been getting almost murked for his job, and, he's alive. And you know what makes you feel more alive is the Christmas spirit. And so we're not watching any Christmas movies. We're watching horror films that take place in the snow, which
feels like
unfortunately
Christmas.
We may have watched like the best snow horror films previously. Like we watched The Shining already. We've seen The Thing, but we dug deep. We found some interesting movies we want to talk about, but I think you have a question for the audience.
Yeah.
Right?
All right, guys. So we are in the spirit of Christmas. And even though we're not watching Christmas movies, it feels like Christmas still in these movies. Anyway, but I want to ask you all a question. Put it down in the comments. And to you, Karson, what is your favorite Christmas song? My wife and I, we have a whole playlist of songs that we listen to every Christmas season. But
are you like a classics kind of guy?
I'll tell you in a sec. But what's your favorite Christmas song?
Okay. To preface, I don't love most Christmas music, to be honest.
Wow.
Just because you hear it so much.
Scrooge.
Like the classics you hear a lot.
Scrooge.
Yeah, bah humbug. Bah humbug.
It's just
Cold
humbug.
for Christmas.
It's not humbug.
Anyways, I kind of like some of the emo covers of Christmas songs a lot.
Okay.
But I can't say those are my favorite because they're kind of cringy when you think about it.
Okay.
Like they're like genuinely like cringe-inducing if more than one person hears it.
Okay.
That's like Alyssa and I will listen to that in the car, but I'm not going to listen to that in public. Right. Anyways, my favorite is a classic though, and that's God Rest You Merry Gentlemen. I think that song is like, there's so many cool renditions of it. Like one, there's the August Burns Red, but then even some of the more classical renditions, I think it's just cool. It feels epic. Cool lyrics too.
Okay.
I don't know. What about you?
Okay.
Let me hear
so
this.
I have 3 like top songs.
3? Okay, whatever.
But I have one that surpasses the
Tyler
rest.
the Creator Christmas album is fire. I will say that. I'm just throwing that out there.
Anyway, so my number 1 is going to be Do They Know It's Christmas by Band-Aid.
Sing it.
Do you not know what that song is?
I don't think so.
Oh my gosh, it's an 80s song.
Send it to me and I'll listen later because I don't want us to get sued.
Yeah. Okay.
Not again.
Do They Know It's Christmas? Flame Karson in the comments for not knowing what that song is.
The Cromets.
The Cromets. I guess my classic favorite song is Carol of the Bells. That one has some really cool renditions.
The Family Force 5 version.
That's so bad. I hate that version.
It's so good, dude.
Anyway, and then my recent favorite is Merry Christmas by Ed Sheeran and Elton John.
Yeah.
Bro,
that's a good one.
I just found that song last
good.
year, and it slaps.
Yeah, it's nice.
I love
it's
that
sweet.
song. Anyway, so
I like
those
it.
are my 3 ones.
Mayday Parade has a new Christmas song
Really?
last year. That's pretty good.
Do you know the song Here by Lucas Graham? It's like a very sad Christmas song.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. When it's dark
Lucas
and
Graham.
it's cold and missing you the most. Yeah, it's a sad song.
Yeah, I like sad Christmas music typically, to be honest. I think for some reason. Anyways.
Fair enough. Okay, guys.
Let's get into
So we watched The Lodge. A soon-to-be stepmom is snowed in with her fiancé's 2 children at a remote holiday village.
Nightmare.
Just as relationships begin to thaw between the trio, some strange and frightening events take place. This movie kind of gave me like M. Night Shyamalan kind of vibes, like Village vibes.
Interesting. I could see that. Yeah. Technically, though, this does take place at Christmas.
Yeah, you're right.
The countdown to it. So for those of you that are dreading the holidays, this might be a good way to just get that dread and channel it into something. Like killing your
productive.
soon to be. Yeah. So I have a story with this movie.
Okay.
So this was a rewatch for me, and I could not remember any of this movie at all until I got to the end. I was like, oh yeah, I remember this now.
Okay.
So I did pick up on things for the first time, or maybe again. But the first time I watched this movie was in 2019 at Sundance, And so it was in the midnight film category, which means they're going to play a bunch of weird movies at midnight. And the way Sundance works is you're not at one theater. There's multiple theaters across town. Some of them are further away from where you're living. There's also like buses and stuff, that like shuttles you take around town. So I go to this movie with some friends, and we're watching it. You know, it's a good spooky time. We're in one of the theaters that are further outside of town, though. And it's midnight. So we finish the movie, and it's like 2 a.m, and we're trying to figure out where the shuttle is. Turns out we missed the shuttle. And it's snowing, which this movie takes place in, like, you know, a snowstorm too. So we ended up having to walk back to our hostel, a small group of like maybe 4 or 5 of us, after watching this movie at like 2 a.m. And I remember being the scariest thing. It was the scariest 20-minute walk of my entire life.
Wait, a hostel?
And I thought we were gonna die.
You stayed in a hostel?
Yeah, we stayed in a hostel. Yep.
What city were you in?
Park City, Utah, baby.
I feel like Utah. I mean, is Park City like a major city?
Yeah, it's a major ski town.
Oh, okay.
So it was like a hostel for like skiing and stuff mostly. So there's like one skier staying in the hostel, and he would just like walk around bare butt naked all the time, and then the rest of us were like film people. It was really weird.
See,
and it was bunks.
I could not.
It looked like Full Metal Jacket.
Did you guys like talk to the guy?
No, we were all like, why the heck is that guy naked? Because it would be like late at night. Because I would go to all the midnight movies, so I always came back super late. But his bunk was right above one of my friends, and so this guy would be naked in his bunk and like climb down butt naked.
Dude, that's so weird. I've stayed in one hostel, but our group rented out the entire room, so that way nobody else could.
I think we were supposed to have the whole room, and then somehow this dude was just the only one. So that was fun, but I would do it again for sure. They're no longer doing it in Park City, Utah. But yeah, that's my story about the lodge. I didn't even remember the movie. I just remembered this journey after and being horrified. I was like, maybe I don't need to do the midnight movies anymore. But anyways, what'd you think about this one?
I really liked it for the most part.
Yeah?
I like the psychological aspect to it. Like the horror aspect to it.
Gotcha.
I thought, what's his name? Jaden Martell from It does really well in it.
He does really good in this movie.
It was a little confusing, but for the most part, I think we kind of love this setting. Like, even when it comes to movies like Prisoners, right? There's like that cold, like there's almost like a weird horror aspect that comes with like being cold.
Oh yeah.
And some of the themes or ideas,
it's visually stunning too.
Yes. And some of the themes and ideas that this movie takes on, I was kind of like when they're talking about purgatory and all these different things, I was like, whoa. And it made me think, I was like, is this what they think that it could be? Because that's really trippy. But overall, I liked it. It's a good story. It's interesting. I mean, it was fresh. It was new. I can't think of anything that was like this. It does have some like, I compared it to something earlier.
You said M. Night Shyamalan vibes.
Oh, right, yeah, but that's just...
I don't know if I
ending.
agree, but...
No, that's just the ending. Because, like, the village, right? Like, nothing's real. So,
Or is it all real?
Anyway, what were your thoughts?
No, I really like this movie. It really lays out the clues to what's going on pretty early on, and then the twist is, like, it works, what they're doing. And that's the scary part. I think the one setting is always really effective in this kind of filmmaking, especially horror, when they maybe don't have that big of a budget. And you can pull off a lot in just staying in one location. And I think they did a great job, like, utilizing this kind of remote cabin. And they don't really fall into too many tropes. Like, even, like, the scary kid trope in this is very subtle. Because I wouldn't say the kids are necessarily scary, more unsettling kind of overall. But then you also like feel like sympathy for them at different points earlier in the film. So I think that's really interesting. And like we kind of mentioned, it does look beautiful. A lot of that is due to the snow. I think some of the scenes outside look really freaking awesome. There's a couple trippy, like, cult-like imagery that is also really creepy. Like, I could watch a movie about that as well. Maybe it's just because I'm a fan of cults. I don't know. But I think the way they present it in this movie, it kind of reminded me of like Outlast 2 a little bit. Like that kind of setup with like an evil preacher, that whole thing. And then I do want to say this movie has a lot of heavy themes. I know we kind of touched on that already of like, self-exiting, and I'm trying to think of ways to say this without us getting flagged. Yeah, there's some really heavy themes. Or even like trauma, I guess, is a big theme.
Was the dad in on it?
No.
Okay.
Homeboy got murked. He got slimed. Yeah. It's tough. No, but yeah, this movie has some really intense themes, and it does feel heavy. Like when you finish the movie, I felt like kind of like disturbed. Not that like what you're seeing is really the most disturbing thing you've ever seen. It's just putting yourself in these characters' shoes and like kind of understanding the situation. It's just it's a lose, not a win. It's a bad situation for everyone involved. Like these kids suck, but then like obviously they didn't expect this to happen the way it went down. One thing I do want to note that I love about this movie is kind of a weird behind the scenes kind of thing, but if you watch the movie, you see like, oh yeah, Neon purchased this movie, released it in theaters or Hulu. I think it might have been Hulu originally or something. It's on Tubi now if you want to watch it for free. But one of the production companies that pops up towards the end is Hammer Films. You might not remember this, Daniel, but last year we watched an older Frankenstein film that was made by Hammer Films. So what they are, for those of you who don't know, is they're a British film production company from back in the day. They're not really active anymore. They're supposed to be making a comeback, but they're known for, I guess, gothic horror films. They had like an in-house style, and they kind of went away for a long time, and then they came back with The Woman in Black with Daniel Radcliffe, and then this movie was kind of one of their first ones back. So when I first saw that, I got so excited because I just loved this company and like their history. Obviously, this movie doesn't fit their house style. This is a new thing that they were trying to be more artsy-fartsy, elevated horror, if you will, which is kind of, I think, an overdone thing at this point, at least in 2025. But in 2020, it was still pretty fresh. So, yeah, it's just cool to see Hammer Films still around, kind of different ownership and whatnot. But if you are a fan of, horror film history, that's just a fun little side quest.
Cool. Sorry, I'm making moves over here on my phone. What is the last thing you just said?
I just was talking about the production company.
Yeah. Okay, I heard that, but I just didn't hear the last sentence. Anyway, okay, so let's get into things that we didn't like. We're running out of time here. Some things I think I didn't love was just, I wish there was more backstory to it. I mean, it's an 1.5-hour film, which it feels long.
Yeah,
but this
it's more of a thriller, like a tight, slow burn thriller than a horror film.
Right, but the way that these kids turn into like the most gruesome, like horrorsome things to do to someone, it was just so quick. And I don't know. I wish there would have been like a build up or maybe signs of abuse. I don't know. Maybe there was.
Yeah,
but it just it's almost like Parent Trap, but just like 50,000 times worse.
It's like Parent Trap. This is like a horrifying Parent Trap. Okay, you know what I noticed though is the movie really only shows us one perspective, and it's hers most of the movie. But there's like sections where I feel like they could have done like a Barbarian thing where we switch to different perspectives, or like the weapons thing. Okay. Because like getting the husband's perspective at one point where he discovers the dollhouse where they were like planning all this. Yeah. And then maybe the kid's perspective would be really cool. I would have liked that much better.
Yeah.
Because we get hints that like the kids are like manipulating her, like when he's hanging in the air, like getting noosed. Later on, we see like the harness in the corner of the room, like laying.
Well, that was like the biggest hint
for
it.
It would just be cool to see them like planning and pulling this off. I think that would just be an interesting movie.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I agree with that. I think we could have seen a little bit more.
Yeah. Anyway.
Maybe less of the trippy, like, oh, I'm seeing this weird version of the house that looks like a cross or whatever. We didn't need that.
Yeah, or just like that one scene where it was just empty snow. I was like,
spooky snow, dude.
Spooky snow. Anyway, okay, cool. I'm going to give this movie a 3 out of 5. It's really good, but nothing here that was crazy special besides the fresh plot of, kids being horrible. But other than that, it does feel like it's missing something. So what's your rating on it?
Yeah, I agree. I would say 3.5. So a little bit higher for me.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit higher.
All right, well, guys, that is going to do
not much higher, but...
for Spooky Snowcember. Snowcember. I hate my life. I always have to have an alliteration.
That's good.
Spooky Snowcember.
Yeah, I got to type that out. I'm going to put that underneath on the thumbnail.
Okay, guys. Well, that is going to do it. We got 3 more movies this month. 3 before we take our little break.
More than that, I think.
Do we?
I think we have 4 more movies. This is a long month, dog.
No way.
well, we can
we'll
chat
talk about that later. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go follow us on our accounts for social, Instagram, and TikTok. And guys, be kind, rewind, and we will see you next week. Peace.
Peace.